In this lesson, you will learn how to create a table in Word. First thing I always want you to do is click on no spacing. No matter what you do in Word, always get into that habit of clicking on no spacing. To begin with, we are going to go to the Insert tab at the top, and the ribbon pops up, and you'll notice the icon Table. Go ahead and click on that table icon. Then you have a couple options here. You can build a table moving your mouse around the squares, or if for some reason there's not enough squares for rows and columns, we can go to Insert Table. I'm going to have you start with Insert Table, and we're going to do a 3 by 3. Go ahead and OK that, and notice your table comes up. Now rows go left to right, left to right. Columns go up and down. So columns are up and down. Okay, now all tables that you put onto Word, they're going to look squished the first time they come onto the document. So instead of grabbing each line and trying to pull the table down to where you want it to be, you need to get in the habit of going to the bottom right-hand corner of the table and clicking on the square. And you'll know that when you get the 2 arrows, you can go ahead and click on that square. And then you'll click, and you'll hold your click down, and you'll drag it for however far you need it to go. I'm not going to have it go too far. Now let me show you, if you grab a line, now you've just distorted your table, and it's not going to be evenly distributed. So I'm going to undo that. So anytime you need to resize your table, you need to grab the sizing handle in the bottom right-hand corner. Next, what we're going to do is, since this is a smaller table, and even if you have a larger table, let's say for instance you forgot that you needed 4 rows and not 3. Doesn't matter which row you highlight, go ahead and highlight just the row and make sure there's no tail. This is kind of what I call a tail. Just make sure the highlighting is within the table. Once you've done that, go ahead and right click, and you can click on Merge Cells. Now also, if you don't want to right click, you can always go up to your Layout tab, and you have the Merge Cells option here. Now let's say for instance you merge the cell, and you decided, well, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Now let's say you were a little further along and you weren't able to click on the undo button. What you can do is you can either right click, or you can go up to your icon from the Layout tab. Oops, I'm going to click here and click on Split Cells, and notice it says how many rows. Well, we're only dealing with 1 row. And how many columns? Well, we have 1, 2, 3 columns. So you want to make sure it matches. Click OK, and voila, you have it back. Also, let's go ahead and highlight the first row. Once again, you have the option of either right-clicking, or up here in the ribbon area where it says rows and columns, you can insert a row below or insert a row above. Go ahead and insert a row below, and that's how easy it is. Now at this point, you can undo if you didn't want that there. But let's say that you decided that you did not want that row there. You can either right click, or you can go up to your icon and you can delete whatever it is you want to delete. I'm going to delete the row. Now everything that we just did for the row, you can also do to a column. Okay, next, notice in the upper left-hand corner, you have a square with cross arrows in it. Go ahead and click on this. What this does is it highlights the entire table for you. From the Layout tab, over to the right, you have an alignment area. Notice you have different alignment areas within each of the cells in the table. I want you to get in the habit of clicking on Align Center. Now this is different from what you would do at Home and Center. Home and Center only centers wherever your cursor is at. So for instance, let me show you. Notice it defaults at the top. Well, if I center, it'll center everything to the top. I don't want that. So I'm going to go to my layout. I'm going to go over here to the alignment, click on the center alignment, and notice now that any information we put into our table will be perfectly centered. Okay, let's go ahead and now here's another thing you can do too. I'm going to make sure my table is highlighted. Again, you can either right click or you can go to the Home tab. It's up to you. And at this point you can decide, well, maybe I want everything size 14. You can change color. And you can change style if you want. Alright, in the first square, or the first cell here, I'm going to put Janesville. Then I'm going to put Madison. And then I'm going to put Milwaukee. And for Janesville, we'll put BTC for Blackhawk Technical College, then MATC for Madison Area Technical College, and MATC again for Milwaukee Area Technical College. And then last, we'll do UW Rock County, and you can do your tab key. You don't always have to use the mouse. And then we'll do UW Madison and UW Milwaukee. Good. Now, within our table, if you were to send this document to somebody or open it up, it looks like everything belongs to each other. Like there's no division of knowing that there's kind of categories here. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of separate it out. I'm going to highlight this first row. I'm going to go up to the Design tab. Now I understand that Microsoft has a lot of preset types of tables or colors with tables that you can use. I want you to just kind of stay away from that for right now. I want you to kind of do things on your own. So for shading, I want you to go ahead and choose a color. And what I'm trying to do is get you to be a little more uniform about what you're doing. So if somebody were to look at this right now, they would see, oh, well, you have yellow at the top and everything else is white. So there must be some kind of distinction going on here. For instance, you could say that Janesville, Madison, and Milwaukee are category names for colleges that are within their city. You can go one step further, and we could also color this a different color. Maybe. Okay, don't spend a lot of time on it, but you get the general idea. Also, you need to stay consistent on the words and the letters you have within your table. I don't want you to have, notice how I have everything capital here. I don't want you to end up having this, and then this, and then this. Notice how it's not uniform, it doesn't look good. The whole point is to make it look uniform, to make it look nice, because you're representing quality, hopefully quality work that you're doing. Same with the styles. If you are going to choose to do different styling, then you need to be uniform about that too. I don't need you to have one You don't have one style here and another style here and another style here. Again, it doesn't look right. It looks very messy. So what you can do is, since these are all college names, you can go ahead and maybe choose a uniform style. And then because these are category names, you could choose a uniform style for those. Now, let's say we wanted to add pictures to this. What we can do is go to the internet, and let's do UW-Madison. I'm just going to do the logo. Oh, actually, let's just grab Lucky Badger here. Now remember, when we're doing pictures, you're not going to copy what the first pictures you see here. These are just little samples of the bigger picture. So you always want to make sure you click into the picture itself. At this point, you can go ahead and right-click and copy. And then when we get back to our sheet, now make sure your cursor is outside of your table. Otherwise, your picture is going to be put inside your table. You don't want that. So with your cursor being outside of your table, go ahead and right-click. And remember, we're always going to choose that first pasting option. Now with your picture here, when I have the 4 cross arrows, see my cursor or my mouse is turning the 4 cross arrows. When I click and I try to drag it, it doesn't go anywhere. Right now my picture is frozen on the page. Now you've seen this before. This is our layout. So we're going to click on that, and as I told you before, we're either going to use in front of text or behind text in our class. So you can choose either one. I'm going to do in front of text. At this point, I can move my picture where I want. Now, the other thing you need to remember is if you want to resize this, let's say this is a little too big for what I wanted. Don't grab sizing handles that are in the middle anywhere. Notice how he's a little bit distorted now. Always grab the corner sizing handles. This will evenly distribute the picture. And you can put that wherever you need it to be.